Today I will explain a bit about the PER system and show you how I remove it from my bike. Post-secondary air injection, an emissions control component installed in many motorcycles. It's designed to lower unburned hydrocarbon emissions by helping any leftover fuel in the exhaust burn more completely. So it burns leftover fuel in the exhaust, cleans the exhaust gases, helps the converter heat up and work better. But remember, the system doesn't impact engine power or performance. Thus, what does it look like on VFR750? Here we have a diagram of the PER system. It consists of two check valves, rubber hoses secured with metal clamps, which connect to chromed pipes bolted to the engine heads and sealed with high-temperature gaskets. The check valves also connect to two intake manifolds. How does it work? Air drawn into the air filter is sent through two outlets to the check valves. The valves open due to engine vacuum. Vacuum from the intake manifolds opens the valve and pulls air from the air filter. The air then flows through chrome pipes to the ports in the cylinder heads, entering behind the exhaust valves before the exhaust gases reach the catalytic converter. Anything more? Sure, fresh oxygen causes afterburning of unburned fuel residues, hydrocarbons and carbon monoxide, also an increase in exhaust gas temperature, so the catalytic converter works more effectively. Why riders often remove this system? It clears up the space under the tank, making maintenance much easier. It reduces unwanted pops and backfires, especially after changing the exhaust. It creates better conditions for tuning the VFR after exhaust modifications. It slightly reduces weight and removes extra hoses. Things to keep in mind: it won't give you any real power gain. You might trigger FI errors or warning lights. If something isn't properly sealed, it can cause fuel mixture issues. Technically, it's no longer compliant with emissions regulations. As for my bike, PER was damaged, so I decided to remove it. As you can see, the metal pipes of the PER system are crushed and no longer doing their job. I start the removal by loosening the metal clamp and disconnecting the rubber hose. Next, I move on to the parts bolted to the engine block. It doesn't come apart easily, so I need to use some penetrating oil. On this side, access is a bit tighter, so I had to improvise. I used the socket, and with some help from pliers, the bolt finally broke loose. Once the bolts are out, I remove another metal clamp and can fully take out the metal pipes. Now we move to the left side of the motorcycle, where the check valve is mounted. I unbolt it from the frame. Besides the thick rubber hoses, the valve is also connected by a small rubber hose that runs to one of the front intake manifolds. Here you can clearly see where that small hose connects to the check valve. Next, I disconnect the thick hose leading to the air filter. I pull it off the check valve, and this side is done. Unfortunately, I can't show the other side because I had already removed the second valve earlier. The process, however, is exactly the same. In this photo you can see how I blocked off the ports in the cylinder head. I hand cut steel plates about 3 mm thick and made custom gaskets from clinker steel material. There are also other methods you can find online. For example, you can cut the metal pipes and block them by inserting a bolt inside, or as shown here, even a spark plug. Another option is to cut the pipes a bit shorter and block them by shortening and sealing the hose instead. After removing the check valves, the brass fittings in the front cylinder intake ports must be sealed, either with correctly sized screws or capped hoses. Now let's move on to air filter. As you can see, the previous owner clearly didn't take care of this motorcycle at all. After replacing the filter, the engine will immediately be able to breathe a little easier. At the front of the air filter there are two outlets for hoses connected to the check valves. I removed the first one, then the second one. This is exactly how it looks. These outlets still need to be blocked, but I will get to that in a moment. First, I remove the air filter itself. As you can see, a lot of oil from the crankcase breather has built up here. Hopefully, after cleaning everything and installing a new filter, it won't be as bad. I'm also planning to build a simple oil catch tank. As for my solution to blocking the air filter outlets, this is what I did. I had bolts that fit perfectly, which I inserted after applying a bit of silicone to the threads. It's been holding up to this day without any problems. Thanks for watching the video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment, and feel free to check out my other and previous content on the channel.